You're calling from a 347. No. Oh, I think did this person get hung up on or hang up? Now I see nothing. Okay, you're calling from a 323 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm calling from Los Angeles. Is that me?
Yeah, Andrew, it's you. What's on your mind?
Hey.
Hey,
oh,
man.
awesome. Great. I'm just calling with a little bit of that good news that you guys were looking for yesterday with you had a caller call in about the narrative with Bernie and all that. I think if you guys just go to berniesanders.com/call right now, you can see that we're actually doing a 1 million call campaign. In 10 days, we're trying to do 1 million calls. It's been 4 days so far, and we're doing 450,000 calls up to this point. So we're actually doing really well. And
awesome.
the way it's set up this time, you're able to work remotely if you want. So if you're at berniesanders.com/call, everything you need is right there. And we're only asking for people to take 1 2-hour shift, and you can do it from anywhere. You just need a laptop and a cell phone. And I've been calling a lot of people in Iowa. And as of right now, for the most part, people are a blank slate and they are receptive to a pitch.
Awesome.
So it's not a thing where you're going to argue with people or anything like that. Most people are really open to listen. And if they're really saying anything about Bernie at all, what they remember is that he kind of got screwed last time. It's not this combative field where you're going to have to like break somebody and like win hearts and minds. For the most part, if you've got a clear, concise pitch about why Bernie's different from everybody, then you can at least get that message across. And I've had tons of engagements with call. You get a lot of hangups. You get a lot of like, oh, I don't have time for that.
Oh, that's the nature of it.
But if you get to talk to people, if you get to talk to people and you let them know that we're trying to completely eliminate student debt and you only get that with Bernie, like we're going for Medicare for all again, like you guys know, and we're completely eliminating medical debt and you only get that with Bernie. His Green New Deal proposal, I bring up the 5-year just transition for fossil fuel workers. And I also bring up that we're the only campaign talking seriously about bringing fossil fuel executives to justice for causing climate change. So these are things that it's like really quickly you can lock in on the differences between Bernie and Warren, Bernie and Biden, Bernie and anybody really, because he has the boldest vision. So if you just lead off with that, even if you don't change anybody's mind, you can get that message across. And you don't know what people are going to do, but I'm telling you, everybody is a lot more open than because I have friends who are Bernie supporters and they're kind of looking at the polls and going, oh, Elizabeth Warren's up. And I'm telling you, if you call Iowa right now, most people don't know how they're going to vote yet.
It's the Adolph Reed story. It's the Adolph Reed thing from yesterday.
Exactly.
Please, everybody go watch that Adolph Reed interview with Current Affairs. Like it's, and this is the delicate balance in this business is of like, it's really important to hopefully educate and entertain people. But the dynamic, especially if you're working on a movement, which is what the Sanders campaign is. I mean, it's about that. Make that call, knock on that door, not the up and down daily neurosis. And hopefully, look, I would like to see, I want the campaign itself to get a lot more aggressive and sharp. But people can't, take on all of that burden. You know what I mean? So don't look at the polls. Get on the phone.
One more thing I would love to just, I would love to just cut in real quick with that again is that, again, if you just go to berniesanders.com/call right now, everything you need is right there. And I think this is another chance it's like the New York Times donor map when that came out. This is our chance to really solidify our narrative because the mainstream media narrative, they try to push Bernie out in every way possible. But we keep seeing these signals from this, 1 million donations, 1 million volunteers, and now we're going for 1 million phone calls. And I think we're going to hit it. And I think if more people participate, we're actually going to crush it. We're going to go beyond. And it's going to start to be a thing where this is a force that you cannot ignore. You can make up whatever story you want about it, but we're here. We're making the most phone calls, and that's it.
And so that when Warren replicates the rhetoric of movement, you can really start to put some metrics of like, well, what are we talking about here? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Get over your fear of the phone, millennials.
Get over your fear of the phone, millennials.
Get over your fear of the phone, millennials.
Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials. Get over your fear of the phone, millennials
Yeah, and yes, it totally is that. I have friends who just don't want to pick up the phone. It's really that. And
it's super
again,
simple.
even when I talk to Warren supporters, they will listen to my pitch. And if you really make clear what the differences are between Bernie and even Warren, who's the closest to Bernie, they're going to at least hear what that is. And you can get off the phone with that person knowing that you at least got that message across. And it feels good. I'm telling you, like all of us, we all feel like the despair and all that. But you can really talk to Americans, and they'll at least hear what you have to say. So, 100%. Yeah.
Appreciate the call, Andy. Thank you.
Cool. Absolutely.
I mean, the reason why I do most of my activism is like, I don't know if it's ultimately going to do anything. I don't know if it's ultimately going to work. I don't know if we're going to win. But I want to be able to say that I did everything that I could to help.
No doubt. So get on the phones, guys.
You know, he mentioned the student loan cancellation thing is one thing that gets through to people. But
let's talk about
I was thinking about in terms of Iowa, like if you want to talk about, especially any red state or rural DSA. This story came out in the conversation. It looks like more than 20% of our nation's rural hospitals, or 430 hospitals across 43 states, are near collapse. This is despite the fact that rural hospitals are not only crucial for health care, but also survival of small rural communities. Now, Bernie is the only candidate, as far as I know, with $20 billion for a hospital bailout plan. So if you need to get the olds in Iowa, specifically, folks, work that into your pitch.
The thing I will say, and this is partially where some of my frustration does come from, with folks who, you know, frankly they're high information consumers. Like, ironically, and I mean, in this election cycle, he not only has a plan for that, he has something that's like jaw-droppingly ambitious. Something that, like, the details of the Green New Deal alone are not something that I expected from a campaign that I like and support. I mean, he's putting incredible points on the board here, even with something like that. You're calling from a 214 area code. Who are you? Where are you calling from?